talk a lot about, Germany's, the rise of authoritarian Nazism and fascism in Germany. We don't talk enough about Italy. Because Italy's slip into fascism was different. Number one, they didn't lose World War I. They fought with the Allies. Italy's gripe with the Allies was different to Germany's because at the Paris Peace Conference, they demanded the land that the Allies had promised them in return for their fighting with them. Former Austro-Hungarian lands that would become, Yugoslavia. And the Allies went, no. This was a cheeky slap in the face to Italy because Italy, in order to get its soldiers to fight in World War I, had promised them land. Couple this with the fact that most of the army had been demobilized and they'd closed a lot of these factories that they had in the war because there was no need for them anymore. The economy was in shambles. Enter the socialist unions going, we need radical reform. The government has a duty of care to its people, the people that sacrificed so much for it in World War I. And to a lot of Italians, that sounds like Bolshevism. And so to oppose the socialists, a new movement emerged. Fascismo. Led by Benito Mussolini, who at one point had been a socialist, but he got kicked out. Mussolini was a guy who believed you could only achieve ends through violent means. It's one of the reasons he got kicked out of the socialists. He had a paramilitary wing of the fascist movement, the Black Shirts. They were thugs. Their whole thing was they were used to attack political opponents, to silence them through violence. And at this point, there was a lot of very disenfranchised Italians willing to join this group. Needless to say, this was an incredibly violent and scary time in Italy. So the current sitting Prime Minister, Giovanni Giolitti, who was at the head of the Conservative Party, went, I know what we'll do. We'll throw an election so that we can all work together. The election did not go the way that Giolitti thought it would. Number one, Giolitti lost a lot of his own seats and they were picked up by the newly formed Communist Party by Antonio Gramsci. But not long after, the fascists went, hey, we don't want to be a wing of the Conservative Party, we want to be our own party. So in 1921, they formed Partito Nazionale Fascista, the National Fascist Party, the PNF. What does this party want? They want control. But they don't want to do an election. That's the stupid way, the woke way. The fascist way was by force. So in 1922, 30,000 black shirts marched on Rome. What was the King Victor Emmanuel III's response to this? What if I give them exactly what they want and make Mussolini Prime Minister? Being violent and aggressive, get rewarded. This will need a part 2 because I can't wrap this up in 30 seconds, so come back for part 2.